By the end of this video, you're gonna have the exact framework that took me from a 500 credit score to over 800 in just a few months. According to finance experts, having an 800 credit score could save you thousands per year in interest, let alone cash back, free travel, and much more. And what better way to learn from someone who's done it and help many other people do it as well. But I must warn you, the last two parts of this video are by far the most important, because if you mess up the pitfalls I share with you, you're going to destroy your credit score. But first, I need you to smash that subscribe button if you want to be smarter with your money. I upload a video 3 times a week to help you make more, save more, and raise your credit. First, we need to understand what makes up your credit score. Did you know 35% of your overall score is your payment history? That's right, over a third. Which means every time you make a payment, it positively affects your score. In the same way, if you miss a payment, it's going to drop your score up to 100 points. And that drop is instantly. Just as important is credit utilization, making up 30% of your overall score, which means how much credit you have available compared to what you're spending. Pro tip is keeping it under 30% to see the maximum increase in your score. Think of it like this: how much credit you have compared to what you're actually spending. It's not about what you have available, but what you're using compared to what's available, which is where one of the biggest mistakes happen. Now let's talk about credit history, which is 15% of your overall score. Good news is it gets better with age, just like fine wine. This is the hardest part of your score to control because time is really the only thing that could heal it. But here's an expert tip. Increasing your credit age is super easy if you add what's called an authorized user, meaning a family member or friend is going to allow you to use their credit card and put your name on their account, which will give you their credit age and their positive payment history on your report, depending on what credit card it is. But here's where it gets tricky. 10% of your score is new accounts, meaning unlike an authorized user account where someone's adding you to their card, if you apply to a credit card on your own, it's going to impact 10% of your score. Opening a new account is like a double-edged sword because it's going to help you by giving you more credit, give you more benefits, and a better opportunity, but in the same way, you're going to be negatively impacted by 10% of your score because it's considered a new credit and a new account. Which brings me to the last point. Different types of accounts is also 10% of your score, called a credit mix. Meaning if you have a student loan, if you have a credit card account, and you have some sort of personal loan, they're all categorized as different accounts. So diversity is key here, but this one also happens pretty naturally. Now, here's 2 major factors that most people get wrong that impact these credit score factors, decreasing their credit score overnight. First one is credit utilization. Now, most people think that keeping your credit card at 30% is healthy for your score. And yes, it is. But to optimize it in the best way, you want to be from 3 to 5%, or in fact 0% of your credit card account. At the end of the day, the credit card company and banks want to make sure that you're able to pay this back and reward you for doing so. And the second misconception is credit inquiries, meaning how many times you apply for new credit cards or new accounts. See, most people think this is a major deal, but it's in fact a very small part of your credit score. It only impacts about 10% of your score, and to be on the safe side, you want to separate your inquiries by 6 months, especially if you're building your credit from scratch, which is the next point of this video that you need to make sure you pay attention to, because if you mess this up, you're going to destroy your credit for a very long time. If you're starting from scratch, the fastest way to build your credit is making sure that you get the right credit card. What do I mean by that? There's good cards and there's bad cards. If you go and get the bad cards off the bat, guess what? You're going to hurt your score and it's going to take a very long time to recover from it. Let's consider that you're starting from scratch. The 2 best cards that I recommend are the Discover It credit card and the Chase Freedom Rise. Reason being, they both have a lot of upside potential, charge no upfront fees, and help you create a relationship with 2 of the best banks to build your credit with. Now, I'm going to share some simple do's and don'ts that you need to make sure that you take a pen and paper out and you jot these down so you never forget them. Do, always pay on time. Don't miss a payment. Do, keep credit lines open. Don't close out old credit cards unless it's costing you money. Otherwise, you're going to ruin your age of credit and you're going to drop your credit utilization. Every time you close an account, the amount of credit that you were offered by that credit card company is immediately taken off your report, which could destroy your credit score. Do monitor your credit. I recommend a credit monitoring app. Credit Karma, the Experian app, yes, they all show different scoring models. Yes, some of them might not show all 3 credit bureaus. However, for the sole fact of monitoring your credit utilization, meaning what you're spending on your credit card per month, any of those will do the right job. Now, this next mistake I share is going to be the reason that some people get immediately denied for credit cards and cause a hard inquiry on their report versus getting approved immediately. When you go to apply for a credit card, very important, you need to make sure that you're putting into Google the pre-approval for that credit card. What do I mean by that? Instead of actually sending in your full application for the card, you're able to share some minor information, and the credit card company or bank is going to tell you if you have a good chance of being approved. If you don't do this, 1, you're risking the chance of being immediately denied by the credit card company, and 2, you're just not being smart about it, because it's like asking a girl out at the bar. Wouldn't you rather send your friend over and say, hey, does this girl think I'm cute, rather than walking up to her and saying, hey, you want to come home with me tonight? So, in the same way, you want to pre-approve for the credit card before you apply for it, not after. And after you get the best credit cards, after you get approved, after you like and subscribe this video, you need to make sure that you're preventing your old cards from being closed. What do I mean by that? If you don't use the card for, let's say, 6 months or so, it's going to be listed as dormant on your credit report, meaning, hey, this guy Nick's not using his card anymore, he probably doesn't need it or something's going on with him, let's close it down. You do not want this to happen. Best way to prevent it is to use the card for small purchases every few months or so. Gas, buying something at the grocery store for your kids. You need to do something on the card, even if it's a small purchase, to keep it active. If they close it, it's going to hurt your score. If you had a similar experience to this, then drop a comment below, because I know I've had a card close in the past and it's the biggest mistake that I really wish didn't happen to me. And with all that said, building an excellent credit score is a work in progress. It's an everyday activity. You want to make sure that you like and subscribe to this video so you stay up to date on advanced credit building strategies, because I put out a video 3 times per week. If you want to know things to never put on a credit card application in more detail, check out this video right here that will help you out. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.